restaurants, and then I opened up 2 car dealerships, Primo and Prime Auto, and I got the business bug. And then a buddy of mine came in and said, you know what? You're doing good. They told me that you'd be here in this location. I said, yeah, man, thank you. He said, man, I ain't seen you in years. I said, yeah, thank you. He said, man, you're doing good, man. I said, thank you. He said, but you're making pennies. I said, I'm making pennies. So you came in, ate my food, drank my beer, and now we're full, and you insult me in my restaurant about I'm making pennies. I said, man, I didn't know you was a hater. He said, come on, man. How long? You know how long we've known each other. I'm no hater. Come on, man. I said, bro, how you going to say? I said, do you see that car out there? He said, yeah. I said, right there. That's called a Lamborghini, brother. I said, do you know the houses I have? Right? He said, I know, but you're making pennies. I said, well, if I'm making pennies, show me the money. Being a smart guy. He said, I will. Come with me on Monday. It was like a Friday or something, Monday or Tuesday. So I said, okay, let's go. So he came and picked me up and drove me to this place down in San Diego. And when I got there, in the parking lot was Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, Ferraris. And I said, man, what is this, a high-end dealership? Because we sell Jaguar, Mercedes, BMW, and Bentley. We own Primo Auto, car dealership, right? So
plug.
So we said, so he took me down there and I said, this is a high-end car dealership. So he started laughing. He said, just come with me, man. So we went upstairs to the top floor. He did some stupid, silly secret knock. And they said, who are you? Who is this? He said, that's my assistant. And they said, your assistant? He said, come on in. So they peeked down, closed the door. And everybody was in there on these phones. And they had all these the jackets off and sleeves rolled up. And they were on the phones and they were, he said, sit right here at this desk. I'll be right back. And if anybody says something to you, tell them you're my assistant. I said, you're okay, assistant. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this kid in front of me. And I can tell a nice watch, And they had on cerruti suits. They were dressed to the T. And these guys had some money. I'm saying, what is going on here? And they're drinking, smoking. I was like, oh, brother, what is this? And so they said, the guy in front of me, the kid, this must have been about 26, 28 years old. He was like, okay, Mr. Mackliff, how much money did I make you? How much money did I make you last year? Remember that investment I got you into? Look, I'm telling you, I need 125,000 shares. If you get $100,000, 100,000, I'd look stupid to go in and get less than 125,000. You're the first person I called. What do you mean you gotta ask your wife to put your pants on? What are you talking? You gotta ask your wife. Oh, Mr. Mackliff, I'm sorry. I did not mean. I'm not trying to, insult you or anything. I'm just saying. This is the deal of this business is rocking and rolling. Everybody, and they gave it to me. I'm here trying to get it over to you. Look, I'm telling you, you're going to miss out. Look, I'm going to hang up. I'm not going to even waste any more time with you. Nobody's. You know how much they're making off this? Look. Okay. So you'll get 125,000 shares. Okay. I'm telling you, you better lock in on this. Okay, I heard you. You want 100? Okay, hold on a second. Ding, ding. He hit this bell. This smooth guy walks, says, 125,000. Yes, he's ready for right now, 125. Hello, Mr. Mackliff. So I understand you'd like to purchase 125,000 shares of CIG. Yes. So I'm going to consider yourself locked in right now, sir. So congratulations, and I'm sure you're going to do well. Yes, wonderful talking to you. And how's the family? Okay, excellent. Say hello to the wife for me. Talk to you soon, sir. Yes, sir. Here you go. Okay, Mr. Kozlowski, you going? I gotta go now. I gotta go in and get some, and handle some more business. You're gonna do well. I'll talk to you soon. Yes, sir. Bye. Kyle sitting on the other end, looking at me, smiling. I said, man, what happened here just now? He said, that kid that you're looking at just got $20 million out of that man.
My goodness sakes.
I said, what? He said, in 20 minutes. I said, how much does he get? He says, 15%. I said, are you serious? He said, and he's the small guy. That's what you call, he's a guppy. He said, the whales are in the middle. They're getting 100 million out of people. And the people that's sitting behind those glass windows in those offices on the phones, those are institutional people. They get money out of institutions like Sony, and they'll give you $1 billion, but that's like research, like stem cell research, brain research. That's what they get that money for. Huge amounts of money. And I did not realize that I was in a boiler room.
A boutique.
A boutique. They call them boutiques now. So if you watch the movie The Boiler Room, that's where I was. So I said, are you serious? He said, I'm dead serious. I said, I want in, man. How do I get in? I said, man, come on. I'm your boy. He said, that's why I brought you here. He said, you're my boy. He said, I said, man, well, where can I get in? Where can I start? He said, right now, this is your desk you're sitting on. I said, hold on a second. Hold on a second while I process this. I says, can I dial out? He said, sure, just dial 9. I took the phone, I dialed, I said, so I called my supervisor of one of my restaurants. Her name was Susan. I says, Susan, you are no longer making $85,000 a year. You are now making $125,000 a year, and you will be controlling all of the restaurants. Are you serious, Miss White? Listen, I don't have a lot of time, but can you handle that? Mr. White, thank you so much. Okay, and Susan, yes, I will not be coming back. Mr. White, I wanted to click. And that was that's how I got into understanding the Lehman's Agreement. So you can go watch that movie, The Boiler Room. That's the movie they made before the movie Wall Street. And then after Wall Street came The Wolf of Wall Street, which is Gordon. He's in LA, a real person. The Wolf of Wall Street. So that was the beginning of my I was there for a while. And one day I said in a meeting, and I was new guy, and I said, excuse me, I got to the bathroom. And the guy said to me, you got to what? I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. He said, he looked around at everybody and said, what do you mean you got to go to the bathroom? Are you here to make money, or are you here to piss? I said, well, I just want to go to the bathroom. He says, you want me to pee on myself? He said, I don't care if you pee on the floor in front of us. We're here to make money. We don't pee. I said, huh? And everybody was doing like this with their head down, like. He said, John. He said, yeah, what's up? He said, get the tape. He brought the tape and took a phone and said, hold your hand out. And I had the phone. He said, hold the phone. He taped my hand to the phone. And he said, if you're going to use the restroom, the phone goes with you. I said, okay. So I unplugged the phone and took the phone in the restroom with me. And I came back. And when I came back, everybody was smelling like laughing and clapping. Ah! So that's how they broke me in. And that was a boiler room. So we made such enormous amounts of money. It was unbelievable. And one thing led to another and another. And then dealt with the notes. And I dealt with a guy named Mir Solomon and another guy named Neil Garfield. Neil Garfield. So you can look him up. He recently passed away, Neil Garfield, but he was one of the foremost attorneys that taught attorneys on how to deal with notes and how to deal with so I became an auditor on how to deal with notes and how to find problems in like mortgage notes. Right. And so I had a lot of people teach me and a lot of people help me. And so at that point, I decided I was helped in so many ways until I decided now I want to give back. So that's my story. So I got this big plate in my arm. You can see that big scar there. A big scar. So I was all messed up, right? So as a response to that, I decided I'm going to not only make money, but I'm also going to teach because nobody else is teaching this information. So that's my story. Sorry for such a long story. Don't mean to bore you. But thank you for your question, brother. All right. So looks like that's the last question. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Derrick Whitehead. I want you to make sure you teach your children. If you don't teach your children, you let me down, you let them down, and you let yourself down. Again, what we do here is we come in. If the airplane goes down and you lose cabin pressure, you have to put your mask on first. Because if you pass out, you're not going to be able to help anybody else. They're only going to be helping you. So you have to put your mask on first, right? So there's no excuses. You can go in. You don't need us. You take this information and you use it and you investigate. So you not only take this information, but you go home and you investigate and learn more and more so that you understand a lot more than everybody on that internet. And they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So take it any way you want to, but I'm here giving it to you. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to close out. You know what we're going to do. Rachel, can you open up everybody's microphone? Can you open up everybody's? Open up everybody's microphones. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to say, you know. You know. You know. You know. You know. You know. Okay. So I want everybody's microphone. Open your microphones. Open your microphones. Rachel, can you open everybody's microphone? All right. You know. You know. You know. You know what's about to happen. Rachel,
You know. Dr. Whitehead, finally unmuted.
Okay.
Dr. Whitehead.
Unmuted.
Thank you
All right.
for that story, Dr. Whitehead.
You know. So we're going to ask. So I'm going to count to three. I'm going to count to three. And I want everybody to open your mics. And I want everybody to say, I'm going to say, who's going to teach you all this? You know. All right. All right. So ready? Everybody on time. Same time. Who's going to teach you all this on the internet for free all night long? Lionel Richie. Nobody. Nobody.
Dr. Whitehead, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the information that you gave. Knowledge to get the money. Nobody.
I love you too.